If your craft room is a disaster like mine and you just can't get the motivation to craft, I am going to go through all of my craft supplies today. We are going to destash, we are going to organize, and we are going to get crafting in our craft room again. My name's Liz and we are going to go through my entire craft room today. We are going to destash like crazy. I'm going to show you some affordable organization hacks from Dollar Tree, Ikea, and Michael's. So many goodies that work perfectly for organizing my craft room. So without further ado, let's jump into decluttering and cleaning up this messy place. Taking you to the beginning. This is what my craft room looked like. An absolute disaster. It just got to the point where I didn't even want to be in there anymore. I didn't want to craft. I had too much stuff. I didn't have enough table space. So when I was crafting, I'd be putting all my stuff on the floor. It was just a mess and it gave me so much anxiety and I didn't want to be in there. So if you are like me and you need a clean space to actually want to craft, let's declutter together, let's clean our craft rooms, and let's start crafting again in a happy and enjoyable place to be. So the first thing that I needed to do was install a ceiling fan because it is getting hot. It is getting hot on the third floor. We are having days in the 90s, which is nothing compared to what I used to live in Arizona. But in Arizona, I had ceiling fans in every single room of my house. So my husband installed this ceiling fan that we got from Costco. It's got a remote, and now I can declutter and not sweat to death. So the first thing I am going to do to declutter is get everything off the ground as much as possible so that I can get this flower stand out of this room. I made this flower stand a couple years back and I really like it, but I had stored it in a closet and that kept everything away. But now that I don't have a closet, it just takes up so much room. So I had an idea, a Dollar Tree hack for you. So I got several of these wall mount hooks that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I also was trying to look for some baskets at the Dollar Tree. You can get these white trash cans at the Dollar Tree, but I ended up finding them at Walmart for 98 cents. So skip the Dollar Tree on that one. Go over to Walmart. They are literally the exact same bins. I'm going to take my Dremel and I am going to drill holes into all of my waste baskets. I am going to climb up on top of those IKEA shelves that I have with those wall mounts and some command hooks, and I am going to command hook those wall mounts to the wall. You could screw them to the wall if you wanted to. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to put holes in my wall, so command hooks it is. I'm going to do 3 command hooks per hook, per wall hook, you can see what I did there. And then I am going to loop those hooks through the holes that I put in the bins. This is going to keep the bins from falling off, from moving around. Everything is going to be nice and sturdy. You could also bend those hooks up to make it even more sturdy. So I'm going to take all of those florals that were in my floral stand and I am going to put them in all of these bins. I can take seasonal flowers out, put them in storage, take my everyday flowers out, or whatever the case may be. I can also lay flowers on top of the top shelf, and it's just so much nicer to have those florals up off the ground. Yes, I do have to use a small ladder to get to them, but I have a little giant and I will get up there just fine. So took that flower stand out and I already feel like I have so much more room. Now, one of the biggest things that I wanted to do in my craft room was put all the same things together. I had paper in my drain box. I had paper on top of my Alex drawers. I had paper in some bins. I wanted to get everything in the same category close together, so I wasn't running all over my craft room trying to reorganize. So I reorganized a bunch of my paper. I went onto Amazon. I grabbed this 36 pack of scrapbook paper storage. I actually love using these. I use them for my business and I grabbed some of those and I started categorizing my paper because I had a lot of single sheets as well from like Hobby Lobby, Michael's. So I put all of my Christmas stuff together, farmhouse stuff together, just categorized them and put them into these little folders that could make them all organized. I'll have those linked down below if you want. I think that they are really amazing and they come out to about 60 something cents a piece, which is even better than Dollar Tree. So once I have all of those together, I put them up with all my other paper. I also had this little office storage container, file container. I'm not quite totally sure what that's called, but I had so many Dollar Tree calendars in here and stickers and scrap paper and just so much stuff. So I went through that entire thing as well and organized everything in there, and I got rid of a ton. And of course, while I am organizing and decluttering, you have to have a little bit of fun.
What? What?
Harvey, look at me.
This can be Lehi's mustache. Mom.
Speaking of organization, I had to share with you one of my all-time favorite finds that I have purchased recently. This is the Skylight Smart Calendar. I purchased one myself because our organization in our house, our schedules are so terrible, especially during the summertime when my kids are at home. I need a chore chart, I need a calendar, I need to know dad's schedule, I need to know kids' schedule. I can put in their chores, they can check them off, we can do grocery lists, dinners, all sorts of different things. I just had to share, since we are doing an organization, getting your life in order and scheduled is super important too. So I had to share this find that I found recently. I saw so many ads for it all over social media and I had to get it. I had to get it myself, not sponsored. This is something I purchased myself and I'm just obsessed with. So I wanted to share it all with you. You can also sync this to your phone. So if you're updating like your appointments in your calendar on your phone, it'll automatically sync to this as well. So everybody knows everything that's going on and I just love it. I'll link it down below. Here we are at this point. I have gotten my second desk up here that I brought up from the basement and we are going to start building our cabinet. I got this cabinet from Ikea. This is the Brimness cabinet. It is $100 for one of those cabinets and I thought this would be perfect to hold all of my crafting blanks, my blank signs. I have so many Couture signs. I have blanks from Target, Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I just have so many blanks. So I decided I wanted a cabinet to hold everything inside of it. I got to building. I put it all together myself, which I'm really proud of because I am not a builder. I am not confident in my drilling and hammering skills. So the fact that I did this all by myself with no help, I was feeling pretty good about myself. We got that all put together and then I went to Michael's during their 70% off sale and I actually found a couple different caddies. This one I actually got for $50. It isn't on sale anymore, so if you are going to get this, wait until it is on sale. Their regular carts I also got for on sale. It was $25. So make sure you wait until they are on sale and don't pay that full price. But this cart specifically, I really loved because it had all the knickknacks and gadgets with it to help hold all of your supplies. It has a pegboard on it. It has hooks and all sorts of other really fun things that I thought would be perfect to use as a tool organizer to be right under the desk and have all of my tools in it. It can hold all of my supplies while I'm crafting. So that's exactly what I used it for. I'm just going to put all the little hooks on there, all the accessories that it comes with. I really think it is a super fun cart. But if you can't get that cart and you can't buy the accessories for it, here is a Dollar Tree hack for you. You're going to grab one of these over the cabinet towel bars and you are going to use this for your paper towels. These fit perfectly on the sides of your little rolling carts. So I am going to take mine completely apart. You're just going to hold both ends, pull it apart, and then you can slide your paper towel roll in through the hole. You can snap it back together and then just put it on your rolling cart. I love this. I love that it fits on my storage cart so it's not sitting on top of my desk and taking up space, and only costs you $1.25. Here is another hack, but it comes from Ikea because this is even cheaper than Dollar Tree. You can get these little bins for 99 cents, and these have the little hooks on them that can also hook to your rolling carts. So I picked up several of these. I just put it right into the top portion of my rolling cart. I'm going to put my scissors in there and my pens in there and Couture squeegees in there, but you could put these on any of your rolling carts and use them for extra storage. End of day 3, I think. My neck hurts, my shoulders hurt, and I think I may be calling it a night. But now that I have things built, I feel like I can actually start doing more organizing. So I am just gonna have to shuffle things around in here, move desks around, put everything in its place, and then I think I'm really gonna be able to like get everything going. I actually feel like I'm making a little bit of progress, but I'm calling it a night and we'll see what I get done tomorrow. All right, here we are the next morning. I did move things around last night, put the cabinet there, moved my tables, got my new filming setup done, which I'm very excited for because now I have more desk space to actually film, whereas before, that's what I was using before, and you can see the feet, don't mind the clothes, you can see the feet, so it only allowed me that space in between to film, and now I essentially have the whole table. I put it up so high that the camera can basically see almost the entire table, which I'm very excited for. I just need to finish clamping on lights. They just clamp on with these little, I don't even know what they're called, but clamp everything on and get all the wires on them and finish organizing everything. There's still so much that I want to do. I still need to take all of that wood stuff off. Any kind of like wood signs or blank signs or anything like that, I'm going to put into there. And just get that out of the way. I think I'm going to put that over here and use it as a like current projects that I'm working on. Because normally when I plan out my projects, they just end up on the floor. And I want to try to avoid that as much as possible. So I'm going to move that. This is all going to go away. And yeah, we'll see how far I get today. We're slowly getting there. We're getting there. When I'm putting all of my camera equipment up, I always have lots of cords hanging and I hate that so much. So I went to Dollar Tree. I actually grabbed a pop socket, hooked it onto the side of my desk and wrapped around these long cords that I had just laying there from my lighting. And you can just wrap it around and around, and that cord stays. You don't have cords hanging everywhere. It is nice and just neat put away, and it was perfect for my cords. A couple other Dollar Tree items that I used for my cords were some wall hooks. I grabbed several and hooked them down to my desk and then hooked them around my cabinet so that they were out of the way with an extension cord. I also grabbed some shower rings and I used these to help hold other cords in place so I didn't have cords just hanging everywhere. And I also used it to hook underneath my desk to keep all the cords organized. Now heading over to my Alex drawers from Ikea, one of them held so many Cricut supplies. Honestly, I hardly ever use my Cricut anymore, and I had so much vinyl that honestly I'm never going to use. So I took a bunch of vinyl that I already had out that I had used. I went through Decluttered a lot, but I rolled them up with the same colors, and I used these Velcro wraps that I got from Amazon to hold them all together so they don't unravel. I also put all of my Cricut stuff, minus a couple little tools that I use more frequently, underneath my dream box shelves. I did this because I am going to try to keep that table down, and since I don't use my Cricut very often, I felt like these were the supplies that didn't need to be out, as much, if that makes any sense. But I had so much vinyl that was unopened that I am going to be doing a giveaway with them. I destashed so much Cricut vinyl, so many rolls that were completely unopened, and I just know I'm not going to use them. So I am going to do a giveaway for 2 lucky winners. I'm going to divvy this stash up and send you some Cricut vinyl. All you gotta do to enter is comment down below your favorite season to craft for. All the details for the giveaway will be in the description box below, so make sure to check that out. Okay, this is what I've got going on right now. All the wood stuff. I have so much of it. All the wood things, the numbers and letters and words and shapes and dowels and those things and all of those. I have so much wood stuff. I bought this, another one of these storage cases from Michaels, with all the little storage cases on the inside. So I figured this would be perfect for these little chalkboard signs and little tags, maybe some little words or stars, hearts, all the little stuff. And then for the bigger things that aren't gonna fit in there, I'll put in some of the bins, whether I can fit them in those or if I need a big one, and I can just put like squares, circles, whatever it is, so that I know where the stuff is and I can find it easily. So I just went through all of my little pieces. Now I had a ton of hearts and a ton of tags, so I did use some bigger bins for these, and I am going to put them in my larger bins in my dream box and put those on those shelves. But for anything that was smaller that could fit into these little tiny bins, I'm going to put those in there. Now again, I bought these during the big Michaels sale, so they're not on sale at the time that I'm posting this video, but keep your eye on them and make sure that you snag them when they are on sale, because I got mine for around $12, which is a steal of a deal considering they're normally $42. So just make sure you keep your eye out on them and snag them when they are on sale. But I think that these were one of my favorite finds and purchases because it keeps all of my tools in one spot, and I can find things super easily. Everything isn't all spread out. It's all contained in this one big container. Same with all of my other little shapes and everything. I loved having everything in that spot. And one of my other favorite Amazon finds is this label maker. I thought this was so much fun. You actually connect it to an app and you can design your label. You can add little icons and borders. I'm going to go through and do some for each of these little containers, these photo containers, with all of my little tools and all of my little chalkboard pieces and all of those things. I thought it was so much fun to put little icons on things, little shapes, and I just thought it was adorable. So this one was really fun. I'll have that linked below. For my Alex 9 drawers, I decided to dedicate this to Dollar Tree. I wanted a spot where I knew all of my Dollar Tree things were, so if I wanted to do a dedicated Dollar Tree video, I could find it all there. Now going over to my cabinet from Ikea, I took all of my wood blanks, wood signs, Cricut Couture signs, and I organized them on all of these shelves. I also got some shelf dividers from Costco, and I stacked shelves that way, and I love having all of these in just one place. Now for my smaller Alex drawer from Ikea, I use these for all of my immediate crafting needs. So that's hot glue guns, glue sticks, sandpaper, things to put paint in, all sorts of different little crafting supplies that you need right on hand, closest to you when you're crafting. I got these little organizers from Michaels, and I just reorganized everything. I did one drawer dedicated to paint stuff, so your little painting cups that you need. At the Dollar Tree, I found this little organizer in the crafting section. I used this for all the little tool pieces that needed to be contained, little sewing needles and things of that nature I put in there. In another drawer, I organized all of my hot glue sticks, and I organized them by type. So I have my full size glue sticks, I have some skinnier Surebonder glue sticks, I have fabric glue sticks, and then I also have glitter glue sticks, and I just organized them all in these little containers that I picked up from Michaels. In my top drawer, I'm putting the things that I also grab the most, so all sorts of glue. I have my hot glue finger protectors, I have sandpaper, things like that I am just reaching for while I'm crafting. Now over on my tall Ikea shelves, I actually picked up some of these cubes. They were $3.99 from Ikea, and I thought that was a really good deal, especially considering how huge they are, and I feel like they are pretty sturdy. In one, I organized all of my napkins and tissue paper for decoupaging. I also stacked my clear bins onto those shelves, and then also put the clear bins with all the other little bins inside, the photo case bins, I should call them, right in there as well. Now a fun find that I got at Ikea was this desk shelf organizer. Now I particularly like this because it has the clamps on the bottom and it doesn't have to sit on top of your desk. But if you want a little dupe, you can go over to the Dollar Tree and pick up this 2-stack organizational shelves. It's $5 and you can set this right on your desk. So I actually bought 2 of these. I accidentally bought one in white and in black, but once I got the first one put together, I realized that I just needed one because it was a lot bigger than I thought it would be on my desk. So I put this all together. I hooked it onto my desk itself. I had put it on the end, but because of the way my desk is made, one side couldn't slide all the way in, making it unstable, so I ended up putting it on the back. Okay, we're making progress. I've got a couple of these shelves all the way done. I need to get a step stool and put those up there. But can we just talk about the fact that I feel like Dollar Tree's florals are just getting smaller? I mean, I don't know. Is this how they've always looked? I don't know. I just feel like you're getting less bang for your buck. Now I've gotten this section cleared out a little bit. I've got to go through all of this, but then I've gotten those taken care of. I need to figure out that cart. And then I still have all this Cricut Couture stuff I'm going to go through. Cricut Couture stuff over there I'm going to go through. Transfers I'm going to go through. And I am going to destash a lot. So those will be up on my Facebook group soon. We're making progress. We're getting close. Now time to declutter all of my Cricut Couture transfers. I had so many transfers. I can't help myself when it comes to Cricut Couture because it is one of my favorite crafting supplies. If you have a Cricut and you like designing your own thing, you'll love your Cricut. If you don't want to take the time to design your own stuff, do the weeding, do the transferring, you'll love Cricut Couture. So I just went through everything. I found transfers that I still wanted to use. I found transfers that I'd never used that I wanted to sell. And I found transfers that I had used that I know a friend would love and a friend would use them. So I just sorted them that way. I went through everything. I got to the point where I only needed one hook per size of my Couture transfers. And that made my heart happy. The decluttering, it just helps. It helps so much to get rid of these things. And it just makes my shoulders feel a little less heavy. And then I had one little section for silkscreen transfers that I got from Amazon and Dixie, Belle, places like that. I put all those together. Okay, these are all the transfers that I've used that I'm giving to a friend because I'm not going to use them again, and there's so many and I don't want to store them anymore. These are all the ones, don't mind the screaming kids in the background, that I have not used that I'm going to declutter. I'm going to put all of these up on my Facebook group, my Couture Facebook group. I'll have that in the description box below so that if you want to follow that page and follow along for when I put those up on the page, then you can. And then I have a ton of like retired stuff that's not on the website anymore. So follow my Facebook group if you are interested in buying any of those. A little Dollar Tree DIY. I grabbed some pegboards, obviously from the Dollar Tree. I picked up 5 because I was going to do a cube, but I only needed 4. I also grabbed some pegboard supplies. I picked up these acrylic organizers plus some hooks and hardware that you are going to need for your pegboard. I'm going to take these outside and I'm going to give these a coat of this pale sage color of spray paint. And a little hack if you're spray painting, if you want your pieces to be risen off the ground, get these little plastic shot cups from the Dollar Tree and put them underneath your project and they will be risen up and you won't have bleeding all around the bottom portions of your piece, whatever it is that you're spray painting. So I just gave these a couple of coats, let them completely dry. Now I have seen some Lazy Susans online that you can find at the Dollar Tree. I could not find them at mine, but I did find this one at Ikea. Now to assemble your pegboard, you are going to find the 2 sides that are going to match up. They are going to slide right into each other. I'm going to use some E6000. I'm going to push my 2 pieces together, use some clamps to hold them together while they dry, and I'm going to do this for another set of pegboards. So you should have 2 long pegboards once the 2 sides have been glued together. I decided to take some of the wood blocks that you can get from the Dollar Tree. I am going to glue 3 together. I wanted my pegboards to be extra sturdy, and I felt like by just using those little pieces that you can adhere to the corners of your pegboard that you can buy, I was afraid that those would come undone and I would just have a big mess. It would be broken. So I wanted to make sure that this was going to be extra sturdy. So I glued 3 sets of blocks to every side of one of our pieces. You'll see what I mean here in a second. So I'm doing 4 stacks per 2 squares. And then I'll add some E6000 to the top of all of those. And then you're going to take your other set of pegboards and just lay it right on top, making one giant pegboard with a front and a back. Hopefully that makes sense, but hopefully watching it, you can see what I did. I set that to the side, gave it time to dry. Once it was all dry, I'm adding more E6000 to the bottom, and I am going to glue that right into the middle of that Lazy Susan that we bought from Ikea. I love this Lazy Susan because it's metal, it feels more sturdy and like it's going to hold up over time. Once all of my E6000 has dried, now is for the fun part. You can take all the accessories that you got at the Dollar Tree, like these little shelves. I put some sticky notes on top of them. I tried to do some magnets for these acrylic organizers with some hot glue. It did work, but you can't put anything really heavy into them. If you wanted to glue the acrylic organizers directly to the pegboard, you could, but I was hoping that with the magnets, I could change it out for other things. It didn't exactly work the way that I was hoping, but it is able to hold together enough to hold some lighter objects. I put some zip ties in one, and then I do use these clear cups for paint. And then I also wanted to use the little Dollar Tree mesh cups that they have. I took my crocodile tool and cut some holes in it so that it would be big enough to fit some hooks that came from the Dollar Tree. But this hook that I was trying to fit it in, when the cup went onto it, the cup just kind of slid forward and didn't really stay in place. I wasn't loving that, so I decided to take some of these hooks that came with my cart organizer. I put that in the pegboard. I slid the cup onto that, and that held it really well, and I filled that with some glue sticks. Another Dollar Tree hack is grabbing this phone loop. I love this so much. So we're going to take the backing off. You are going to stick it to your pegboard, and I'm using this to hold some charging cables. This works perfectly. Just roll your cable up, stick it down inside, and this holds it all together. Now I'm going to do a DIY with some wood that we already had on hand. We just cut a whole bunch of it down. I wanted to make a ribbon holder. I am not a fan of putting ribbon on tension rods or any kind of rods for that matter, because you have to take everything off to get the ribbon you want to take over to your desk. And it just drove me crazy. I had ribbon on rods, I had ribbon in bins, I had ribbon everywhere, and I just wanted it all in one place. So here are the dimensions for the wood that I used for this project. I am going to make shelves for my ribbon so everything is in one spot. So with this project, I am by no means a woodworker. I am by no means a builder. I didn't do this perfectly, but it's a DIY and it works perfectly for my craft room. I'm going to take my top piece and a side piece, and I am going to use some wood glue as well as a pin nailer. It was super windy outside, so I came inside to finish it up. I'm going to space my shelves out 6 inches apart. We are doing a total of 6 shelves, but you only need 5 individual shelves because, you know, the bottom acts as a shelf. So I am going to measure everything out by 6 inches. Your last shelf will be a bit longer than 6 inches, which I did on purpose for all of those rolls of ribbon that are larger than normal. I should have done the top and the bottom and the sides first. I did not, but that's okay. I figured out my mistake. I put the bottom on, and then we are going to measure out all of our shelves. You want to make sure that everything is leveled. So as you're going, level out all of your shelves. My husband helped me with this project because I was getting a little bit frustrated. Let me know if that happens to you ever when something just is not working the way that you wanted it to. He came and saved the day and helped me figure it out. Now, once I had all the shelves in, we just used this piece of 1/8 inch birch. This is going to make it a lot lighter than using, a thicker piece of wood. And then we also used 1x2s for the little lip on each shelf so that your ribbon rolls don't just come tumbling out. This is what it should look like before you paint it. You've got several shelves in there. It's just perfect the way it is. I love it. So I wanted to make it a sage green, and I painted the entire thing with some folk art sage green paint. I put this on top of my longer Alex drawers. I measured this out specifically to fit on there, and then I started grabbing all of my ribbon and just putting all my ribbon in. I did get rid of an entire bin full of ribbon because I just had too much, and I told myself that I wasn't going to keep any ribbon that didn't fit in this shelf unit that we built. I wanted to make sure that I was decluttering instead of keeping everything that I had. The nice thing though is because of the depth of this, with some of your smaller rolls, you can actually stack some ribbon in the back and then some ribbon in the front. So there is a little bit more room than just what you see on the front. I did that for any ribbons that I had multiples of that I really liked. I put the extras in the back. Now here is everything finished and clean and organized, and I just love this so much. This took me about a week. I have a hurt back and hurt neck. I've been using a heating pad a lot, but I can't tell you how worth it was to get this finished. I feel so calm when I'm in there. I don't feel any anxiety. I feel creative, like I can sit down and craft, and it just feels so good. So if you are struggling to be creative, to sit down and wanting to craft, declutter, reorganize, and then hopefully that will help. But I want to take you through everything and show you exactly how I organized it. So starting with my dream cart, I have all of my Couture pastes in there, along with some other Couture products. I have some foam sheets on the side, and then down below I have some wood items like letters, numbers, some little feet that you can buy from Hobby Lobby. I also have extra bins, which I am so excited for. I'm so happy that I decluttered enough that I actually have some room for some new items, some new things that I might want, and I can actually have a place for them. So in each of these bins, I just try to organize them with the exact items in each one. So I have like my sewing stuff in one, I have faux fruits in one, leather in one, I have puffy paint in one, all of my clay in one, and then in the middle I have all of my paper together with my 6x6 paper pads on top, and all the paper organized in that organizational unit. And then I have all of my scrappy pieces, my single sheets, all in those little organizers that I got off Amazon. All of my paint is all together. Not all together, but it's close by, so I don't have to go searching across the room for specific colors. In my other side, I have shapes organized together, which I really liked. I have my circles and my squares in one drawer. I have stars and arrows in a drawer, tags in a drawer, hearts in a drawer, all my beads in a drawer. I am just loving how organized this is, because then I know where everything is and I'm not rummaging through all the drawers to try to find exactly what it is that I'm looking for. Underneath, I have all of my Cricut supplies, my Cricut machines, everything's organized under there. On top of my Ikea shelves, I have all of my florals. On some of the top shelves, it's more decorative for the background of my videos. For my long garlands, I actually grabbed an S-hook from the Dollar Tree, and I hang those with that on top of my shelves. In bins, I have all of my Couture products, like the cutouts that go with the transfers. I did go through those, declutter a bunch. I've got yarn in some. With these clear organizers, you can see all the little labels that I have, which I'm just obsessed with. I've got little bugs on there with a little bee and a star. I'm telling you, that label maker is super awesome, and this just shows me exactly where everything is, which makes my life so much easier. And these clear organizers, I've got felt all in one of those. I have got all stamps and stencils in one, and then in the other one I have a ton of fabric. All my fabric is just in that big organizer. In these other Ikea bins, I have some more random things that I can use for more storage. In another one, I have all of my napkins for decoupaging, and then all of my ribbon in my new ribbon holder. It's one of my favorite things that I made from today's video. I just love it so much. On the bottom of this, I also have this rack. This is where all of my paintbrushes dry. I also got that from Ikea. Now in these Ikea drawers, I have this dedicated to Dollar Tree. I have the wood stuff on the top. I have signs that I can use. Really anything that you pick up from the Dollar Tree that you want to redo, I have in these drawers. well, anything that will fit in them, right? Because there's lots of things that you can get from the Dollar Tree that aren't going to fit in these. But for the most part, all of my Dollar Tree items are in these drawers and I can go to it, especially for a Dollar Tree video. They are easy to find. And on top of that, I actually have a couple empty drawers, which means I can buy more crafting supplies, right? No, I need to keep them empty so I don't overflow. I also hung this other pegboard for more of my tools and some of my longer stickers. This cart right here is going to be my DIY cart for projects that I want to work on, videos that I want to work on. And then I also put these little IKEA containers that hook onto your cart on the side, holds my label maker and some other little things that I need close by. Now, directly next to where I'm going to be crafting and sitting, I bought this under the table little sliding shelf from IKEA. Perfect for when I'm actually using some tools and I need a place to put it. I can also hook them onto the little hooks on my cart so I'm not having to fully put them away. I've wrapped up cords using the Dollar Tree gardening hooks. I love this. I also used it for my tape measurers to keep those all organized. And then for this cart, I use this just for my tools. Hot glue guns, heat guns, any kind of tool that you can think of, I'm putting it right in there. I've got my paper towels up off the floor and hooked onto my cart. And then in those shelves right next to it, I have all the supplies that I'm going to need while I'm crafting. Any kind of glue, sandpaper, little vacuum, floral wire. I have got all of my hot glue sticks all nice and organized and separated by hot glue gun type. And then I've also got all my paint supplies, anything that I need to pour paint into. And then the bottom two drawers are kind of a little bit of mixed things. Some hooks, my Dollar Tree tool organizer with all of my extra little bits and pieces for certain tools. I've also got my parchment paper in there, some hooks, some cords. It's kind of a little bit of everything in those last two drawers. Then for my Dollar Tree pegboard, I punched some holes in these Dollar Tree healing mats. I have some hot glue sticks, tape, just some more other little things that I need close by, and that's easy to reach. I grabbed this little tray from Michael's. I thought this was perfect for when you're DIYing. You can put all the things that you're using inside there, and then when you're done, you can pick it up and put everything away. And then I have this little caddy that I got from Hobby Lobby years ago. I use these for my paintbrushes, and I just kind of organize them by paintbrush size. And then for the tabletop organizer with those two little shelves, I grabbed all the containers from the Dollar Tree and I organized all my Cricut tools, regular tools, sponges, all of my markers and pens and pencils. Everything is just organized right in there. The back of this caddy also holds my taller supplies, and it has those hooks to keep everything in there so nothing is falling out. Now over on my big pegboard, I have all of my Couture transfers, my Cricut mats, any of my adhesive transfers or stencils I put in there. For my office organizer, I have Dollar Tree wallpaper. I have my rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree, from Dixie, Belle. And all of my stickers. Down below, I have all of my blanks, my Couture blanks, my Hobby Lobby blanks, any kind of blank, especially a wood blank, it's going in this cabinet. Up above, we installed a shelf for all of my floral items. I have some more florally baskets in the basement that need to come up here. They will go in those baskets. I grabbed this whiteboard calendar from Hobby Lobby, and then the other day I went into Dollar Tree, and in their plus section I saw these weekly planners with the whiteboard, and I thought this was a perfect alternative if you want to stick to the Dollar Tree. And that is it for today's video. I am so excited for the way that this turned out. I feel so much more motivated to actually sit down and craft. I feel like I can actually be creative and it just feels so good to be in a nice and tidy and organized space. A couple quick reminders before I leave. All of my last chance items will only be available through the month of June over on my website, so if there are any craft kits that you want, make sure to grab them before the end of June. After that, they are going away forever. We're getting ready to launch a ton of new fall and Halloween things coming in July. I cannot wait for you guys to see them. So many new things, so many new craft kits that I absolutely love. So make sure that you're sticking around. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, if this was helpful for you at all, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.